All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Welcome. We're going to be diving into quantum energy information tutorial, actual science, actual data, actual research, and also some, just some fun. And I have a couple slides for you prepared. So stay tuned. Let me get a couple people on board. And we're going to be talking about quantum energy healing, the nature of how we're all connected. You've heard it. We are one. Maybe you've seen Star Wars, maybe you've seen Avatar, the movie, maybe you're a Matrix fan. It seems to permeate our culture. So let me show you something that inspired me years ago. And I didn't get the images. Here you are. The images are right here. Hang on one second. Yes, we are live. Something called Kirlian photography. Have you heard of Kirlian photography? If you have, well, there's some really interesting information, really interesting images. These are photos, okay? And let me bring myself in here, say hello, bring in the image a little closer. And these are images of real life with a special kind of camera. And this is done back in the 60s. And if you go to, here's a human hand right there. Here's a leaf. Here's an apple. They even cooked food and checked the energy. Here's a nice graphic. See if I can bring it up a little closer. And I want to tell you in a second, before we get there, I want to tell you in a second how this applies to you, your life, what's going on now, what's going on in the environment, and how you can optimize using this knowledge for your good. Okay, now what is it for your good? Well, I don't know you personally. Maybe I do a little bit, but I don't know all your insights, your intentions, your desires, the things that you value in life. That's for you. That's creating your life. What I can do with this information is help free you, facilitate, to guide, to help free you of limitations in these levels that affect the mind and the body and the spirit, as well as your life, as well as your emotions. And I'm going to show you a quick image. Let me show you this, and then I'll come back to the story and about how it applies to you. So stay tuned here. 1 second. Here we go. Right there. Okay. Now this guy in the corner, Dr. William Tiller, he's done all the science. He's boy, you dive into who he is, what he's done. This is impressive. So here we are. This over here, function. All right. Let's zoom in there a little bit. We have our function. Right. That means you're walking, you're sleeping. It means how you're able to eat and digest. It's even how can you be happy in the moment. All right, so function. Think about what you love to do. Think about what brings you joy in life. Think about, going down to the beach or hiking in the mountains somewhere. Wherever it is for you, think about doing it. And that's function. And that's dependent upon structure. Now, what structure? It's your posture. It's bones and muscles and ligaments. How are they aligned? You got to think for a second. You got to think like an engineer. Every angle, every alignment makes a difference. We human beings are a precision instrument. So here we are. We have this structure. And then we have our chemistry, okay? Chemistry. We all know about chemistry. We all know that we can affect our chemistry. This is what the pharmaceutical and the medical model really are focusing on, the chemistry. And then you get the physical therapist, you get the chiropractic, you get different components of that manual physical health care, and that's structure. And ideally, where we've been in our understanding of the healthcare model and the mainstream and how we're helping each other is structure and chemistry. But there's a big problem in that, a huge problem. We're missing out on understanding this nature, the electromagnetic energy fields. And, this, by the way, getting into this understanding, that's enough for a lifetime. It really is. It really is. You start understanding that nature of the human body, the human mind, the human field, and we're going to talk about the human field in just a second. That's why I talked about quantum in the beginning. That's why I talked about some of the hashtags are energy healing, ascension, things like this. We are electromagnetic beings. Think about what an MRI is, magnetic resonance imaging, EKGs, electroencephalograms, electrocardiograms, EEGs, encephalogram. We have, you rub your feet on the carpet, you shock yourself, you shock somebody else. We are electromagnetic. So there's a ton of insights into how this affects you. Even nerve conduction tests. Okay, we are electromagnetic, but there's more subtle systems, and there's a whole wave of healthcare coming out that you may not be aware of, and I want you to be aware of. because it helps everyone when we have a greater understanding of how we individually operate. Now, back to this image real quick. The subtle energy fields. Subtle energy fields. Okay, what is that? Well, there's a whole world of science right now that's describing this in detail. I'm going to show you that in just a second. And then we have these two words here, information and intention. Whoa, what does this mean? How does this affect our subtle energy fields? How does this affect our electromagnetic fields? How does that affect our body's chemistry? This is why thoughts are things. This is why the why behind you do things matters. I call that right-useness. Morals, ethics, things like that kind of conversation. How you do and why you do what you go about, that's intent. That's a legal term, in fact. In fact, I think a lot of trials are based on the idea of identifying one's intent in what one is being charged with. So intent, oh my goodness, we even have it in our legal systems, okay? And however, we missed the boat. We've missed the boat in the past about how intention affects our health. Now in the past, I've shown the Mind Body Harvard Institute, but I wanted to start with this, I wanted to start here with the Kaolin photography. I'm gonna bring myself in there. I want to start with the Kaolin photography because this is what got me on my path. And before I get into Kaolin photography, if someone were to go online and take a look at the definition, all right, I just go back to the main site and here it is, Wikipedia. I mean, look, this is not an academic reference, but it says, and I will say it doesn't seem like it's very clear here because I'm going to show you why in a second. All right, Kaolin photography is a technique for creating contact print photographs. That's fine. That's a technique using high voltage. Interesting. The process entails placing sheet. Okay, we're not concerned with the process right now. Okay, let's go down here. What can you see with Kaolin photography? This is what we want to see here. All right, it's believed. All right. Well, we're going to scratch that, and it says it's known. All right, we're going to clarify that definition. Images created by this Kaolin photography might, throw that word might in there, we now know with 100% certainty. I'm going to show you. In fact, I'm going to give you the preview right now because I just can't stand myself without showing you this. This comes from the National, let's pull up the original, I'll show you the title. There's the COVID warning at the top. Welcome. If I said that word now, it boots me, well, it'll be all right. All right, right here it says the U.S. National Library of Medicine, National Institutes of Health. This is on the website right here. Maybe I can zoom in for you. You can make sure that you see it. I'll zoom in real close. Hopefully you can see it. There it is. ncb.nlm.nih.gov. Okay, this is, and then we're in the journal section. We're looking at research. This is how we actually find data that matters. All right, so let me bring that back down to the right spot. All right, so here we are. Look at the title here. Biofield Science and Healing. All right, this is, when was this written? I'll find out in a second. 2015. All right, history, terminology, and concepts. And there's a couple of highlighted spots I'm going to read for you. We're not going to, this is the dry part. We're going to get into the fun part here in a second. Biofield science is an emerging field, meaning it's been ongoing before this study, of a study that aims to provide scientific foundation for understanding the complex homeodynamic, and that's a big word, or we'll go back to that word in a second, homeodynamic. Understand the word dynamic, meaning lots of parts moving, and we have to account for them all the time, okay? Homeo means something to do with, well, let's look that up. I don't want to guess, right? Let's do it right now. We're not going to move forward until we define this word because it's so critical, and I want to make sure I'm accurate for you. Homeo definition. You can't see that search, but that's how we do it. Homeo, a combining form meaning similar, used in the formation of compound words. Homeostatic. So that's a term in the human body and physiology. Here's what we want to see right here, is that it's about a balance of whatever you're able to balance with. So whatever you got, you're balancing it. That's homeostasis. And if you get out of that balance, you're in fight or flight or the stress response, and they're oppositely the relaxation response. Okay, so this medical dictionary, all right, combining form meaning the same, alike. All right, so that, it doesn't become super helpful, but here we are. We're in homeodynamic, meaning it's balancing similar things of the living system. I mean, it's basically balancing you. Okay. By furthering our scientific knowledge of the biofield, we arrive, and that's here's a biofield of some life that these original images were able to capture. Now we're gonna bring this out into how our technology today is showing us the human biofield in different ways. I'm gonna show you those images in just a minute. Okay, this is critical. This is who you are. So what was so impactful for me when I was young, getting into my doctorate program, was the phrase, know thyself. Physician, heal thyself. I took that pretty serious, actually. And here I am, down some rabbit holes. However, it's like Alice in Wonderland. There's a lot of truth in here, and we have to learn to interpret, because life is not just black and white and A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's linear. Life is also very dynamic, quantum. There's like, it looks like chaos, but there's actually order to this beauty. So let's go back. So here we are, back to the research article. This science is an emerging field. This is back in 2015. Okay. By furthering our scientific knowledge of the biofield, we arrive at a better understanding of the foundations of biology. That is, the understanding of life, biology, as well as the phenomena that many have described as energy medicine. Now, this is something I've been studying in depth for 15, 20 years. And there's experts out there who I'm going to show you in just a minute have been doing it much longer than me. And I'm standing on the shoulders of giants, I'll proudly say, and carrying on the lineage. So here we go. Energy medicine, the application of extremely low-level signals to the body, including energy healer interventions and bio... Okay, well, we're not going to get into that. Let's go down to the spot I wanted to show you. Oh, here's a nice spot here. All right. Conventional biomedicine. Again, bio meaning life, medicine is giving way, meaning this is the model that your family doctor probably practices and probably only knows. Okay, this is what the pharmaceutical companies provide them, and this is what they apply, and legally that's all they are allowed to do. Testing and prescriptions, or surgeries. Yes, there is physical therapy, yes, there is psychology, psychiatry, and things like that, but of course there's a whole world of what's called integrative medicine, or CAM, complementary alternative medicine. All right, this is where a lot of specialties fall in. The focus here with this integrative medical model is it emphasizes healthcare as wellness, healthcare as well as illness care. See, this is confusing because the average person thinks that the medical system is wellness care. It's not. It's managing your illness so you can just, avoid the pain, avoid self-responsibility. Now I know that's oh boy, I said it, self-responsibility. The only way to truly transform your life is to take responsibility. Now, I'm not saying you have to do it yourself. This is also reaching out for help. However, who are you reaching out for help for? I beg you to ask yourself that question. I beg you to investigate. What's the philosophy of the system you're using, and what's the outcome? What's the traditional, typical outcomes? Is it safe? Is it effective? Yeah, there's a time and a need and a place. There is limitations of matter. I think if I'm jumping around too much, please forgive me. But what I'm getting at is what I'm seeing marketed out there is surgeries as wellness care. That's just not it. It's not it. All right, let's go down a little further here in the article, and then we'll wrap this part up, and we'll move to the next piece where it has some great images for you. I'm just so excited to share these. Okay, many complementary alternative medicine, CAM, therapies utilize variants of laying on of hands. Now, that sounds like such a dogmatic religious way of putting it, but there's really no context for the current... Oh my gosh, let me bring myself back. There's really no context for the current average medical practitioner out there to understand what the real nature of that phrase is, laying on of hands. I'm sorry, they don't know it. And I hope that they do. I'm here, and there's so many practitioners out there that are alerting people to this form of healthcare because, just like we saw with this image, this is known and confirmed and proven and now being used in greater and greater ways is the understanding of information, intention, and subtle energy field healing. Period. It's there. It's part of our reality. Too many of us have experiences of weirdness where you're thinking of somebody and they text you at that same moment. Or you have this vision of something and you make an action step towards it, and all this stuff starts to happen in the line like it's just meant to be. Who's investigating these things? Well, I've been investigating those guys for like 20 years. And I've been applying these things in my life, these techniques, these thinking, these practices, and in my own clinic. All right, so down further, a little further. Here we go. Let's get, where was that? Here we are. This is a nice one. Since antiquity, there have been two opposing views on the nature of life. I wonder if there's a third view or a fourth. This guy who coined the word atom maintained that everything, including organisms, is reducible to its constituents. That's called mechanistic, meaning the parts. That's why we have a specialist here, a specialist there, a specialist for this, specialist for that, because it's mechanistic. It's reducible to its constituents. Means your body, I'm going to be a little bit of a, means you're a bag of body parts. While Aristotle held the belief that life processes are automatic, autonomous, and organisms are integral wholes, meaning you can't separate your pinky toe from your knee, from your hip, you can't separate your digestive system from your immune system, from your nervous system, from your cardiovascular system. I mean, name it, it all weaves together. Now we're understanding, and I mean, behind me, maybe you can see it, maybe not. My camera's not wide. I mean, I got dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of books around and these energy healing techniques of research. I mean, it is there. I have the library, and by means, it's not 100% comprehensive by any means. And I keep finding books and more and more and more and more. It just keeps coming. Ladies and gentlemen, let's wake up. Let's open our eyes. Let's take a look around about the interestingness of nature, and let's get inquisitive. We're not just popping pills anymore because. Well, we're seeing the ramifications of that lifestyle, and it's hurting our society, not helping it. Okay, all right, let's get to the fun stuff here because that was a little heavy, But hey, I'm bringing truth, and I ain't gonna stop because that's the way I roll. All right, so let's keep on going here. Next, we have what I got. This one here. Oh, this okay. So this I'm gonna not this one, but this place right here. All right, so then the Kirlian photography led me to this place. Now let me zoom in. I'm just going to read the name of it because it's so interesting. It's the International Union of Medical and Applied Bioelectrography. Bioelectrography. So basically, you scroll down, you see these, and I looked up many of these doctors, and I've actually come across some of them. This Dr. Konstantin Kordakov. I mean, there's some amazing things happening around the world in the terms of light, human light, energy, frequency, vibration. I mean, it's the stuff that Tesla talked about. And then within this site, I came across this webinar, seminar. And it's mapping the anatomy and physiology of the human biofield. I mean, whoa. There are scientific grants going on in this country. And I know here in Philadelphia area, there's the Thomas Jefferson University is having a big seminar right now going on all about this kind of thing, about interesting healing techniques. And they're partnered with UCLA. They're doing a lot of the research. And there's the Harvard Mind Body Institute. And there's private institutions all around the globe for sure. There's the Heart Math Institute. I believe that's in Arizona. I know there's places in Canada and places in Mexico. And I'm here in New Jersey. I know there's places here in New Jersey doing it. Princeton. Anyway, let's get into this guy. I'm not going to play the video because I don't want to get dinged, get this pulled down or muted. So if I'm going to drop this link right now in the chat, save that link, watch that seminar. It is amazing. And so what I did for you though is I wanted to show you some of the images from not this one, this is from a different workshop, but I'm going to show you some images from this that I saved, and I want to make sure that you can take a look at them. And I'm just going to flip through them, pictures, excuse me, let me get out of that so you don't watching me work, so to speak. Pictures speak, how many words? 1,000 words? Maybe 1,000,000 words. I mean, there's a lot in these pictures I'm going to show you that is just amazing. So this is an image. I've seen this artist time and time again show up in the world. Let me make this fit better. Sorry about that. Yes, we are live, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to bring like a nice presentation as best as possible. So let's see if we can get this. There it is. This is artist Alex Gray. If you've never seen him, some of his images are a little bit, maybe a little bit surprising. I'll say that. Though, in my own meditations, where's everybody here? Well, is it frozen? It can't be frozen. Let's see here. Well, something's not wanting to play a little bit, so I'm just going to continue on to it unfreezes a little bit here, and let's see what's going on. Well, we'll at least be able to do that. So this is our Alex Gray, and in my own meditations, this picture on the right, I saw this image, and if I could say most specifically, I saw from my own personal health journey, I then was shown an image of like a very zoomed in image of this matrix looking, I want to say matrix, like spider web, interwoven cross matrixy pattern of like lace around the ankle, and ankles are important in my life. Now this image, this is the electromagnetic spectrum, and let's see here. That's a lot of detail. I'm not going to go into that one right now. Here's the Kaolin photography I was referring to. Biophotons is the term given to these light eminences. Here's a human hand. And by the way, where it's a bright down here, this person was a cigarette smoker, and this is where they were leaking energy out of their body. Right there. You get to choose. Here's an apple. On the left, fresh. On the right, microwaved. Left, right. Look how bright and shiny and whole. Look at the holes. Hole with a W-H-O-L-E. And this one, H-O-L-E, the holes. The darkness. The life is, well, less. Here's some hands. Let's get a better, do this. Yeah, that looks good. And here's a much more detailed map of the hands where they talk about different emotional and mental states associated with each of the hand prints. Very interesting. Here's the energy meridians and the associations with different parts of the body's anatomy. And this stuff is very accurate. I've personally tested it a lot out in my practice over the last 10 years, and I've been in practice for 14, my 14th year currently. And let's continue downward. Again, this is more acupuncture points, different things and names that they've known in their system. This is a written system for 5,000 years. Written. This is a reflexology image. We get to see the nature of different parts of the body, how they correlate with the spine, and then we see the aura, the Kaolin photography of the foot. And I don't know how to read this. However, what I do know, you can see these fluctuations, the different color schemes, and that has to relate to something. And there are people that do read this. I'm actively searching them out. Here's a depiction of a technology that's measuring waves. Again, this knowledge right here, the assemblage point, is huge in Europe. The dantians. This is a form, I believe, Korean, or maybe it's traditional Chinese medicine, some form. I don't remember exactly. Here's heart math. This has been something I've been aware of for the last 10, 12 years because of something I measure called heart rate variability. These are images from the talk I just showed you, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. These aren't my images. These are images from these NIH researchers that are getting funding from different government organizations from around the world. And this presentation by Dr. Thornton Streeter, Mapping the Human Biofield, I dropped the link in the chat. Hopefully, wherever you're at, you can get it and watch that webinar. And why, what's so important about all this? That's important for me is I am helping people deliver the care, get the care that is going from these information, intention, and subtle energy level layers into these layers. It works both ways. We can burn ourselves out at these levels, the subtle levels, from bad habits and accidents and things of that nature on the physical levels, and vice versa. It's very intriguing. So let's go back here, a few more images, and then we'll go. This one's really cool. This one I saw a long time ago. I couldn't find it, but then this guy had it on his talk, and it blew me away. So we're just seeing different patterns of techniques over the years that have seen flow of energy up and down this human system. And there's something going on right here. It's very unique. This is between the throat and the heart. Well, think about communicating, ladies and gentlemen. Think about the importance of communicating your heart. And when you can't communicate your heart, well, let's see where I get my camera working again in some ways. All right, so communicating from the heart, and if you ever try to if you're in something emotional and trying to speak, you get that frog in your throat. What's going on? It's something, there's like a storm in that zone. It's so interesting. And I work with people all the time, and when they're telling a story and there's still problems with that story, they scratch a body part, and it's always associated with the meridian where that stress is. It's so interesting. Hence, I wrote the book, Decode Your Pain, helping people begin to wrap their mind around how their symptoms, their pains are really communications from the human body, from the subconscious realm. And here's pranic healing. There's so many systems. Here's another image of the human auric field, chakras, interrelations. Here's some energy meridian, more energy channels, the more acupuncture meridians. Here's a biofield, some chakra view. What's this one say? The biofield view. All right, this is some technology that's out there now. I'm intrigued. And here's a book with all the scientific data in it that you can just purchase right now. Anyone can purchase this book. You don't have to be a doctor. And there's more. So that being said, let's see if this works here. There we are. We're back. What's the problem here? What's the problem? There's not a lot of knowledge out there as far as real life practical application. Like, who do you go to that can address you at these levels, and who's done enough of the work, and who's in the right place to do this work? And in the nature of today's environment, can I go see them? Can I go around to see them? Do I want to go see them? These are all legitimate questions that must be addressed. Will we be allowed to see them? Well, I promise you can. You have rights that you need to learn about yourself. However, that's an interesting deep dive that we'll be talking about more about health freedom, personal rights, responsibilities, and things that you can do, say, and apply to maintain that. However, whichever way you want to fall, I'm sure that you want to care for yourself in different ways. So with that being said, this is why I developed the solution. And the solution is not my own, although I was inspired by many, and I put these ideas together at the final end of the day here. So here's what I have for you. I want to show you this because I'm so proud of it. Right there. All right. So if you're interested in natural, holistic, energy healthcare, whatever it may be, and perhaps you're sick and tired of the traditional medical approaches, okay, that one size fits all, to see, basically get your script and you're out. Well, there's another way, and it's really for free. It really is for free. All right, you put your name, your email, and put your phone number in there. I promise that information is private and kept. I am a professional, licensed, board certified chiropractic physician here in the state of New Jersey, and I take that very seriously. But so when you land on this page, it's synergysolutions.com. I'm going to drop that in here right now. The links are also in the description depending on what service you're using as you're seeing this. And there's a video right here. Now you have to hit the play button. It won't start automatically. All right, gives you a little insight, and what you're going to get is these three of the sessions that we record all of them. We've been going live for over a year. We're closer to well, until 13, 14 months now, 15 months, and we're doing this. So there's three episodes I really liked in the beginning that I saved and made prepared for you. And it tells a story here. It tells a little bit of my story about how this works. However, I want to share this with you. This is the most important thing, because this is what really connected the final dot. This picture right here. Believe it or not, that picture. All right, that picture talks about a story. And I want to say thank you to my friend Jim Chester out there in Colorado. He told me about the story of the Belgian draft horse. The Belgian draft horse. What an amazing story. The strongest horse in the world. And apparently for years they've had competitions. And that's what this picture's all about right there. I'm sorry about that picture. That looks bad. That looks good. So here's an image right here. And look at all this wood stacked up here. And you have these two horses. And as the story goes, one of the largest, strongest horses in the world, this horse, competitions are shown and are held, and a single Belgian horse, and I'm reading right here, and you can find this right on the website if you want to read it for yourself, can pull 8,000 pounds, all right? Now here's the weird thing, is if you put two Belgian horses together in the harness who are strangers next to each other, I mean, they've never been next to each other, they don't know each other, together, they can pull between 20 and 24,000 pounds. That's a tripling effect, not twice as much. A tripling effect. That's called exponential. Okay? Now, another term for this, and this is why I call it synergy. This is the definition, this is an example of synergy in nature, meaning one horse can pull 8,000 pounds. We have a second horse who can pull 8,000 pounds. So if you just do like math, 8,000 plus 8,000, 16,000, but no. When they're working together synergistically, there's a greater impact. Keep that in mind. Moving on. However, listen, now this is what really inspired me. However, if the two horses are raised and trained together, they learn to pull and think as one. The trained and therefore unified pair can pull 30 to 32,000 pounds. That's a 4 times effect. So what does that mean? What does that mean for you? It means that when you have someone that you trust, when you have someone that you vibe with, when you have the same intention of a target, of an obstacle to overcome, something to achieve, it's not just a 3 times power effect. It could be up to a 4 times power effect for you in the getting the outcome of that desired outcome. So why is this important? Why am I talking about it? And how does it apply to you in a real life, practical level, day by day, week by week? So let me introduce you to that. All right, I call them the KST crew. These are a circle of doctors and that I train with. Many of them I've trained with for more than a decade. I know them. I love them. This is, in fact, this is my favorite circle of doctors that I continue to come back to. And these are doctors who practice a technique called KST. Now, this technique, it applies to all techniques. And that's kind of the funny thing. It's a detection system. It's not my technique's better than your technique. Look, any technique can be applied appropriately to its maximum capabilities. This is a tool that allows us to identify when, where, and how much, how strong, how light, whatever it may be, through a development of a system that helps us identify, taking a broad, vast information and boiling it down to the basic point, ABC, in just a few moments. We can identify what to do and how to do it, deliver it, and in the nature of how this care goes, when we have numbers tuning in, the doctors tune in weekly, every week, every Wednesday at noon Eastern time. We come on and we're doing this work. We're all connected. We're all in this vibe, okay? And we have science now to prove that regardless of where we are in the world, we can connect. And in that connection, we have an intention. That's why I showed you this slide before here. This intention, right? This is so critical, intention. Our intention, we declare every episode. There's a general intention for everything. The best life expression, optimal function, okay? Optimal function. We talked about that word at the beginning. If you didn't see the word, that's okay. Go back to the beginning, watch the replay. Function is how well you're able to sleep, how well you're able to stand up and walk around. Can you dance? Can you pick up your grandkid? Can you study well in school? What are you performing well at your job? Are you happy? Are you able to work through the dark times? Like, that's function. All right, and there's all these other layers that go from intention and information to function, back and forth, and this can all be addressed regardless of where you are in the world. It's provable. And that's super exciting for me. So I dropped the link, synergysolutions.com, or if you're on Facebook, there's the Facebook link to the page. There's an offer. Yeah, there's an offer. There's a couple offers on there, actually. One's the book I mentioned. I dropped that. To Code Your Pain. It's about understanding, the awareness factor. And then we have the awakening factor, and then the healing factor. Okay, there's a couple different programs that I have, but I'm putting them all into one here, and something that's called Vision Living. But we'll talk more about that later. Right now, it's all about Synergy Solutions. This is where you can basically team up with a group of doctors to facilitate this quantum energy these modalities. So once you get to that first page, you put your information in, and you get offered this second page. Okay, it's a special offer. Now this is to join in with the program. All right, it's a weekly program, and what I'm going to show you right now is a video. It's about a minute long. It's in here. You can watch it for yourself. I'll show parts of it, and then you can read more about people's testimonials and experiences and what you're getting. And then I'm going to show you something that's not on this page that you're going to be getting in the very, very near future. You even get the free introduction to the book. You don't have to buy the book. Just get the free introduction. Start your journey off there. All right, so let's watch that video clip, and then we're off.
I think when you put on the oil, like I calmed down. I was starting to go into like, what a strange thing this is we're doing. Like, are we doing this right? Like, what's going on? And I was like, man, just let it be. And it's what it is.
That's right. That's right. It's perfect. Though, tell me about the last 10 minutes. Tell me about your experience, what you were sensing, what you noticed.
Definitely some like tingling in like the third eye area, and sort of some like tight sensations in like my lower back.
Gretchen, real quick, tell me about your recent experience.
I feel amazing. I've taken so many deep breaths. I definitely felt a lot of work in my thyroid area, my right jaw, and my left foot that I've been waking up with basically it being a crippled foot. It feels amazing right now. So I'm very blessed, and thank you all very much. I feel great.
All right, I'm so proud of this program. It's been a wonderful journey. Like I said, we've been on this doing the Synergy Solutions for more than a year now, and when you get in there, it's so much fun. I have a lot of fun. I know doctors that join in have a lot of fun, and I'm going to show you the page right now. There's two things happening. One is actively running right there. Let me go over here. Oh, gotta close a couple things down there. I'll show you this. Here it is. So this is there's a Facebook group page, and I know that everyone's using Facebook, and that's why I started to build a members area. I'm going to show you that in a second. But here's all the episodes. Literally every episode we've done for over a year, you have access to right away. All right, and this is a private group. It's a learning session. Okay, and I'm not going to show you too much because there's private information on there for the members, and so. Not that one. Here's the membership area. You know, you're going to see all these. This is my view because we're building it right now. No one's allowed in it yet, but it's happening. All the programs I've built, all the podcast material we create to help the mind, help the body, help the spirit. You get different bonuses and exercise packs. I mean, you get digital bonuses from the book. There's a personal growth group, and there's more coming that is not in this yet. We're not done building it, but it's so great that I wanted to show you more because I just want you to have all the tools necessary to take care of yourself regardless of what's going on. Whether you're allowed to go, you're not allowed to go, whether you choose to go, whether you don't choose to go, I want you to have your power. I want my power. If you want your power, type in yes. Power, please. I claim my power. I claim my power daily. Some days easier than others, but nonetheless, keep claiming it. And so I wanted to show you this. This Becoming Your Own Healer program is going to be added to the Synergy coaching group, Synergy Solutions sessions, okay? The coaching group, this is part of a coaching group thing that we're going to be dropping and adding. And in this, maybe I can get to it. Let me see. Let me zoom out. Here it is, right down at the bottom. All right, you're seeing my view a little bit too, as the owner of the page. So this section right here, units, okay? You go into the unit section. This is the kind of stuff that we do as the providers in the technique and in our practices, our individual clinics. However, I am bringing you some of the techniques that have helped me break through the understanding and be in a position of helping other professionals learn this, as well as delivering the care to you. And so Unit 1, all right, this is one of the lessons that I have in here for you. Introduction to training your intuitive senses. Like, this is a skill set that you have. You're born with it that we can develop. All right, there's types of intuition. We need to learn about the types. There's practices to build your daily awarenesses. And we have these two videos right here. They're each about 20 minutes long. But I tell you what, you could pause every minute because there's so many amazing nuggets that I watch these videos. I watch these videos like, oh my God, I better take notes. Those words came out, meaning that it was such a divine moment. There was so much clarity in the message. There's so much information that in those moments when you're healing, and you know this, you have it in your own life. When you're clicking and vibing with somebody, it's like you have more ability. Think about a team, a sports team. If you're really clicking, it's like you can overcome any obstacle. And so, back right here, just showing you more details. I want you to understand this term priorities and questions and this term OD. When we understand what this means in the body, you have the ability to unlock the combination to release your healing. Here's some techniques here to train these intuitive senses. These have fun names to help us remember. And then there's so much more to share with you here. But there's different techniques for those moments when we're emotionally up and down. Again, and I haven't added it all yet here. So we're building this. There's advanced knowledge on natural law that I have a lot more to put in this. This is an amazing series that needs to be watched multiple times. It's like reading a good book. It's like watching a good movie. The more you watch it, the more you understand, the more it's enriching, the more you get, the more you can apply. So this is what's going on in these healing techniques. And as I continue, they say it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert. Well, what happens at 15,000 hours? What happens at 20,000 hours? What happens at 30,000 hours? I've gone beyond, significantly so, the 10,000 hour mark. And I'm noticing something. I see things differently. And I know this happens with other practitioners that do these things because I can see them working. It's really amazing. So these avenues are available for you, and I want you. And part of the thing is some of us don't have the time to learn these things. Some of us may not want the time to take to learn these things, but they want it. They want the effect of it. Well, that's why I created Synergy Solutions. And one of the biggest problems that was critical for me developing this was, essentially for the shorter, I have basically two lengths of sessions for this kind of work. The shorter is, for the month expense, if someone was to come once a week, like this program's offering, the month expense is around $500. If you're joining this program, I wanted to make it as affordable as possible, so it's $47. And what makes it even sweeter is I've added a component where it's called affiliate. So if you know people that like energy healing or quantum healing, if you get 4 people that you know to connect and do the program, you're in for free essentially. The money is a payment plan. So if you're struggling with finances and you still want to get in, you don't have the $47 a month to get in, that's fine. Connect with me. I shared a link to get you on the affiliate program, and you can start connecting with people that you're interested in, that do healing, that do Reiki, that do massage, that do tarot card, that do astrology. This is part of the esoteric sciences that have been hidden and demonized. I throw my hands up. My journey began with truth, ladies and gentlemen. And because of some experiences that happened when I was a teenager, well, I had to find truth. And I believe I'm on a really amazing space with this. So I invite you to join, click the links. I invite you to investigate me, what I'm offering. Don't, look, I love when people believe me, but do your own homework. Nullus in verbe, I believe is the term. And means do your own homework, do your own research, find out for yourself. Test it out. Consider it, investigate, observe. That's what your brain is great at doing, and the energy right now in the world is great for that. Getting caught up in you think that you know. What I know is that there is something that is unfolding that I have no control over. So what do I have control over? And this is where I hit the rubber meets the road. You have control over yourself. And maybe you need an upgrade. Maybe you need some tools. Maybe you need some mentorship. Well, whatever it is, you have the power to bring it into your life. You have the power to create it in your life. And today, tomorrow, and Sunday, get it done. Take the action towards those things that bring you the life that you want, the desires, the goodness, the feelings, all that. Take the action. Add the things in your life now. Because come Monday, there's some shifting of energy going on in the universe that has been building up for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And I can show you that data as well. And I want to thank the Leo King on that one. So blessings God, ladies and gentlemen. Click the link, synergysolutions.com, or go to Dr. Kevin's Arena Facebook page. Find the offer there. There's a few offers there. And finally, you can go to drkeving.com. Let me I'll turn on at the end some of the links that get to, let's see, maybe this can, there we are. We have Transformation Tuesdays, which we're doing Transformation Friday right now, titled Synergy Solution. Some days it's just, I'm learning to balance life, which we all are now learning to balance. So there's drkeving.com. Boy, there's a bunch of bonuses, free stuff, more content, access to the book, access to third-party programs that I use for my healing, that I use for my mindset growth, consciousness growth, and the abilities in these quantum realms. There are amazing people out there, and I firmly stand on the shoulders of giants, and I will continue to declare that. I will continue to declare that. And I'm just, there's a statement, and I'll end with this. And I carry around this book, and I have my intentions up front for my life. I have some statements that I read each and every day. And just like your garden, if you plant seeds, and you're pulling your weeds, you're going to have a fruitful harvest. So believe and succeed. Ask and it shall be given you. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall be open to you. For anyone who asketh receiveth. He that seeketh findeth. And to him that knocketh it shall be opened. And my friends, what does that mean? It means ask and you shall receive. Put your mind on the target that you want, and then allow life to bring things to you as you continue to take those action steps. Blessings and best regards. Get on board. Synergy Solutions says this is light waves ahead of a lot of healthcare opportunities out there, and I am so excited. And I just love all the doctors that have been joining each and every week. And I'm so blessed to be a part of it. I want you there too. Because the more horses pulling those loads, the greater power we have. And what's the power for? Personal power. If each of us has our personal power, if each of us is individuated, if each of us knows what we need to know for our piece of the puzzle for the world, we all come together. Blessings and best regards. I'm Dr. Kevin.